So we're running through our principles and we're having a bit of fun. So we thought, why not record this and share what's going on in the heads of Ava and Em. So we've got our principles here. This is the kitchen here at Creative Rootz. And we're looking at the principles. There's 5 principles. And the first one is that God is a non-dual good. So we're going to move on now to principle number 2. God is all there is. So God is all there is. So in other words, the unified field is all there is. Cosmic goodness is all there is. Presence is all there is. So omnipresent. So the word, there's loads of omni words, and omni just means all. And me and Ava know 6 particular words that we get all excited about. So omnipresent means all present. And how is this divine? How is this unified field? How is this universe? How is this cosmic goodness? How is this first causation? How is this divinity all present? We already explained that scientifically, like through the quantum field, through that unified field. It's in us. We are made within that image and likeness of the divine, of that one presence that's never an absence, because within us is that space, that intelligence, that's the no thing, that's something between the cells. Would you like to expand on that, Ava?
Well, omnipresent, it means that it's present everywhere at all times. There is no space, no time, no place that God is not. And it's expressing itself through everything, which is the nature, the planets, the cosmos, people, absolutely everything. Like, for example, Delilah here right now, pairing. So yeah, God is omnipresent.
And God is omnipotent. Would you like to explain omnipotence?
Omnipotent, that means that God can do, be absolutely everything. So it has all power. Like it's the only power, one power in the universe. And anything else that is showing itself as power is really a pseudo power. It's not real. It's an illusion. So omnipotent, everything is possible and it's available if you align yourself with God.
Beautiful. Thank you. Omniactive. Omniactive is a truly fantastic thing because it's all actions. It's every activity. So this divinity, this life, this living spirit is every single activity that there is. Remember, everything that even that appears bad, it's an activity that's showing up for us to learn, for us to grow. There's things within there that can bring us back to a realization within ourselves that this is, every activity is that one first causation. Yeah, so all activity, all actions, it is that omni activity is exciting. So I can never say this. I'm going to try. Omniscient.
Omniscient. That means that God knows everything. You don't even have to say a word. God knows absolutely everything, or your thoughts, or your feelings, or your desires, everything about you and the world and the cosmos. So, yeah, omniscient.
Thank you. You say it so well. Awesome. Omniscience. I love this one. And I can't believe that I got that, which means you get omniamorous. But first, and I'm gutted about that, but you can do that. But omniscience. Omniscience is that living spirit, that like an essence is that spirit, that thing, that's that divine flame, that thing, that spark, you know. Every time you get a bit of a hell yeah, that is omniscience. So you know, your oh yes, it comes from the omniscience that is the unified field. It is that, oh yes, that's the living spirit. It is the yes in life. It is the yes in the infinite. It is the yes in the absolute. It is the yes in the principles, that's a presence that's never an absence. So omniscience is something that I'm very passionate about, because I love saying yes, and I love yes to life. I love yes to being alive, and I just love the principles. So now I'm going to pass over omni-amorousness to my dear friend Ava.
First of all, I love
It's
your
love.
passion, and you're just so amazing. I love it, how passionate you are, like in every way about everything, but about God especially. I love it. So omniamorous, that is actually the word that Reverend Keith Horowitz of
Agape.
Soul Center created in Orange County. He is a minister of Agape. So the only time, or the first time I heard it, it was when Reverend Keith was praying, and he said omni amorous, which I absolutely love, because omni, all, and amorous, which is love. So God is all loving and loving all. So basically it's the expression of love, the action of love, and just love being everywhere with no any how do you say it? I forget the word. It's an unconditional love for everything and everyone. So
Agape
omniamorous,
love.
just like
Agape
me, just like me, I'm omniamorous too.
is that pure love, that just, yeah, that love beyond all understanding. And I love that omniamorousness. I am so passionate about that love, and my life is filled with that love. And as you can see, I get very excited about that love, because it is just awesome. So that takes us through our 6 omnis, and we're now going to look at the fact that it's all in existence is the activity or first cause of the divine, of God, of the unified field, or whatever. We pretty much covered that, I think, in the first principle. But again, we'll to put it into a different context. Everything that happens, even when it sucks, is somehow showing up, so we get to grow through whatever it is. And even at the time when you just think this is like, it can feel like the Matrix, life can feel like you're being shot at by 1,000 bullets and you don't know where to turn. And at that time, something will come out of that. You know, when I've had great losses in my life, and I've had some big ass losses, it's been making space for things that I have just, you know, when I've lost my home, when I've lost everything that I was stood up in, everything, when I've lost, virtually had the appearance of losing everything, and I've been in some of the darkest periods of my life, something better's always turned out. And then somehow, through this unified field, through this presence that's never an absence, out of no way, a way always appears, and something always works out. And it's always truly amazing. And for that, I'm so grateful, because I know no matter how things are, when we're having a tough time, something better is coming. And I just got to remind myself, how can things get better than this? And I know that something will come through a life visioning thing, or a meditation, or I'll meet the right person, or the right person will just pop into my life. Something happens, and then it's like, oh yeah, life is always supporting me. Everything is always working out for the highest good. And sometimes it can take months or years before I recognize what it is. But the more in alignment I am with my principles and with these universal laws, the quicker things happen. Sometimes things happen within minutes, within hours. It used to be waiting for months and months and months and sometimes years for things when things went a bit, you know. So believe me, all in existence is the activity of this amazing cosmic goodness. So we're moving on now to, this is an exciting thing. This is a holographic universe in which every facet, seen and unseen, is an emanation of the presence and omni qualities, so those 6 that we've been through, of the infinite. So this is a holographic universe. Like, wow. So holographic is that every single part contains it's like the whole world's like just mad fractals. Can't say the word. So everything is just like some mad illusion. Do you remember when you were younger, they had those stickers and you'd shine them and you'd move them and it would make it look like something else? And back to the Matrix film again, when we're going out there and we're looking, these things that we're looking at, they're not particularly real. It's just our perceptions of what's real. Would you like to explain holographic in a bit of a better way? Because there is a way that I can't quite remember that explains it in a much more scientific way.
Well, I don't know how to explain it better, but holographic basically means that everything, like the whole of the universe, is contained in even the smallest part of it. So basically, in practice, what it means that if you are meditating and creating the resonance with God and, you know, like getting into this beautiful state, it impacts the whole world. It's not only you. Basically, that means that your consciousness is available for everyone. Like you can impact the whole universe. But I guess you have something there that is interesting to say about it too.
No, I was just looking at my notes because I did have it somewhere else, and I'm just trying to see if I can find it, because Reverend Victoria talks about this, and she's a proper like science geek, and I'm not a science geek. So some people that are really into the science can know this and hear these words in a totally different way. That's just like, oh, that's it. Holographic means every part contains the whole. So if the whole is the one causation and the one presence that's never an absence, every single fractal, every single thing that we see contains that oneness, that goodness. So
perfect. Thank you. That was excellent.
All that for that. There you go. So every facet, so in other words, every single bit that we see and that we don't see, because we need to mention here about our minds, and we're going to look at psychology for a quick sec. Basically, everything that we're in our mind, we're conscious of, that's in our awareness. It's not some spiritual word. It's just basically in our awareness. We have so much thoughts that we're aware of, but we have like nearly 90% of our stuff that we're not aware of. That's over 90% of our thoughts that we don't have a clue what's going on, and our body is running on autopilot. It's responding to all this data that we're not aware of. So we need to be work on what we're aware of. The more that we're aware of through meditation and just paying attention, doing self getting to know ourselves a bit better, what we're able to do is recognize what's going on, and then we're able to respond to life instead of being so reactive. So, where are we? Holographic universe in which every facet, seen and unseen, so we're talking about unseen, is an emanation of the presence and omniqualities of the infinite. Do you want to just...
There is no explanation needed. The infinite is expressing itself through everything. It's pretty much the same thing, but just said in a different way, you know, using the hologram, and then the fact that unseen or unheard is also God. So there is much more happening than we are aware of, but everything is God, infinite.
Perfect. Thank you. So the last thing on the God is all there is principle is any one thing, which is a circumstance or situation, can be viewed from multiple frames of reference. The best explanation that I've ever heard for this was when I was doing security. They said there's many different perspectives in the world. Think of when you go to a football match, okay, or soccer or whatever you call it, you know, and you go, and depending on where you stood depends on what you think the ball does. And if you go to a match, you'll see that different people, and you'll experience a totally different experience, whether you're in the stand that's the home players, or whether you're in the stand with the away players. It'll matter whether who's winning, who's losing, whether you're taking sides, and what you can see from your perspective. Every single one of the people there, if you interview every single one of the people there, they're all going to tell you a slightly different story. And you're going to have to make up your mind as to what's real and what's true according to what you can perceive. So everything that is always there to get us to question things and try and recognize that there's way more to life than our limited perceptions would have us believe. So we're now moving on to 3, which is our halfway point. Every person is an individualized expression of God.